Hi, I'm Randy Nelson. I'm the off-road technical trainer for Polaris Industries. And today I'm going to show you how to install a light bar and the light bar harness on this Polaris RS1. Before we begin, we want to make sure we read these instructions and check to make sure all parts and tools are accounted for. We want to make sure we retain these instructions for future reference and parts ordering information. To begin the installation, we first need to remove the visor from the vehicle. There's two T40 fasteners we're going to remove. We're going to pull the visor off and set it aside. Once the visor is removed, we need to remove the right-hand A-pillar. So there's clips under here. So the best way to do this is kind of grab the front and then slowly pull up on it, and it'll release from the vehicle. You want to be careful. You don't want to break these standoffs here. Now these standoffs just go into these rubber grommets, and there's a couple locking tabs along the outside here. So once that's removed, we can move on to removing the side panel of the vehicle and the right rear fender. So to remove the fender, we have a quarter turn located up on the top, and we've got two bungee cords, one located down here and one at the rear of the vehicle. We release those, and the fender will tip kind of towards you a little bit, and you got to lift up a little bit, and it'll release from the body of the vehicle. And there's two tabs on the inside here that lock into the body of the vehicle. Those are going to be the last things to remove. So we'll set the fender aside. So to remove the outer panel, there's two fasteners up here, T40s, and then there's 5 on the inside. So we'll go ahead and remove that. You want to make sure when you remove the last fastener that you keep your body by this outer plastic, because this panel can fall off the vehicle. So installing the ROPS harness, we want to start by inserting the two bullet connectors into the ROPS on the top side here, and it's going to feed down through the ROPS tube, and it's going to come out on a bottom hole down here. Now you can insert the two bullet connectors here and try to feed them down there, and it may come out the bottom. Most cases it will not. So a lot of time using a fish tape or even just some used wiring in the shop works really well. So what I'm going to do is what I found best is to actually feed it from the bottom side first and then feed it up through the tube, and just kind of keeping your finger in the tube up here, making sure you can feel the wire up there. Once it passes the hole, you can grab a pick or a hook and then hook it and pull it out. And then what I'll do is I'll tape the ROPS harness on with some electrical tape, and then I'll go ahead and just slowly pull it through there to feed it through there as a kind of a fish tape. So I got it up here in the corner, so I'll just fish it out with my pick. And now I'm going to run the ROPS harness through there. So I'm just going to electrical tape the ROPS harness to the wire I just ran through the ROPS. You want to make sure when you get towards the end of this bullet connector, it's kind of a smooth end. That way it kind of feeds through the tube a little easier. Just like that. And then we'll pull the wire through, feed that into the ROPS cage, and just lightly pull on it. And you'll be pushing from the top and pulling from the bottom. And there we are. So now the harness is all the way out. So we'll untape the tape from the ROPS harness, and we'll continue on with this installation. So the next step here is I'm going to install the dash harness. Now with the dash harness, there's a few connections on here. The first part is our relay and our fuse. This is going to be mounted to one of these spare holes up here. Right now we already have one being used, so we can mount this to one of those 3. This connector here, the 3 wires, the brown, the orange, and the red, that's going to go to our pulse connection down there to power our light bar. The red and the brown wire here, this is going to connect to the bullet connectors that we just ran through the ROPS. And of course, we have our switch. So we're going to want to remove the switch first, because we're going to route this through the harness or through the body of the vehicle. What I'm going to do is I'll route this through the body of the vehicle. You want to make sure you do follow the instructions for proper routing. What we're looking for is no pinching points or no abrasive points that this harness is going to rub to. So I'm just going to begin by installing the relay and fuse box up here, and I'll start feeding the wiring through the body. And where I'm working towards is the switch panel. So I'm going to go ahead and make the connections here on the light bar harness we just ran through the RZR. That way I can see what our wire routing, our best wire routing option is going to be when we follow the directions. So red to red on the bullet connector and brown to brown on the bullet connector. And then we'll continue routing the switch connector down through the body. So I went ahead and routed the harness through the body of the vehicle, and what we'll notice actually on the harness, there's a retention clip right here. Now this retention clip actually goes onto a rib on the inner part of the plastic here, and there's two of those. There's one here and there's one already connected, and the ribs are just more of a standoff, so we want to go ahead and put that on to that standoff. Just push it on there, and that secures the wiring harness to that inner plastic. Now this is our connector that's going to be routed up to our switch panel, which is located right here underneath. We'll go ahead and make that cut to accept the switch. So we have 4 options to choose from on this vehicle, so it doesn't really matter which one we choose. The important part here is when you're cutting out the hole for the switch is you don't take off too much material. So you'll see that there's two lines of this cutout. There's an outer line and an inner line. What we want to do is we want to take out this portion right here, the one that I'm scratching on. That portion needs to get removed. So we're going to do that with a sharp utility knife. You could use a different type of cutting utensil. And I'm just going to start the cut, push through, and then we'll just work our way through the plastic, and then we'll cut that out. And if we need to take any more material with it, we can use a deburring tool, or we could actually just use a file to file that out, and then we'll insert the switch. So I'll finish cutting this out, and then we'll show you how to make the connection on the switch. So I got the hole cut out here to accept the switch. So what I'm going to do next is actually take the harness that we fed through for the switch and just kind of push it through the hole here. And then I'm going to make my connection on my light switch. So it only goes one way, so we got to make sure we connect it proper, which it will, and then make sure it's seated all the way. And then we can go ahead and feed the wiring back through the hole, and then orientate our switch properly, and then just push it in, and it locks in place. So now that the light switch is installed, we're going to go ahead and proceed to installing the light bar onto the roof of the vehicle. So before we can install the light bar mount, we need to remove the fasteners from the aluminum roof. So the T40 fastener comes out. I already pulled the nylon lock nut off the back side. Now below the head of this T40 fastener, you're going to have a metal washer and a rubber washer. The rubber washer needs to remain in contact with the aluminum roof. Now provided in the kit are 2 different types of brackets. Now this is a universal light bar, so we have a couple different choices here. So you're going to have to play around with it for your application, but on our application on this RS1, we're going to be using these brackets. Now we're going to install these brackets using the fasteners we just took out of the aluminum roof. So we'll install the bracket, the rubber washers is still there. We'll install our fastener, and then we will install the nylon lock nut on the bottom side. And we're not going to tighten these up quite yet. What we're going to do is we're going to mount the light bar up loosely, and then we'll come back and make our final torques on these T40 fasteners along with the light bar bolts. In the kit, there's 2 different lengths of Allens, and I'm using the shorter one that's in the kit. You're also going to need a lock washer, a flat washer, and a knurled washer. Now this knurled washer is going to go between the light bar and the bracket, and there's 2 holes on the bracket, and we're going to use the top hole that'll raise the light bar off the roof. So we're going to go ahead and lift the light bar up and install the washer on the inside. I like to kind of get that washer started first and then kind of walk the light bar up onto it. So I got that washer between the bracket and the light bar. I'm going to get that started, and using a 6mm Allen, I'm just going to snug these down for right now. We're not going to make the final torque on these because we still need to tighten up the T40 fasteners on both sides. Once we tighten those up, then we can make our alignment on our light, and then we can make our final torque. So I'll go ahead and repeat the process on the other side, and we'll come back and torque everything down. So making the electric connection is pretty simple here. So with the light bar kit, it actually comes with a pigtail here. That just comes in the kit. You don't need to use that. You want to disconnect that and remove that. So this end is going to connect to the ROPS harness we just installed earlier, and we'll install that, and you'll notice that there's a rubber grommet here on the harness. Now this is used for different application if you were going to run it through like a plastic roof. In our case, we're not going to use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut and remove it. Just going to get rid of it. And we are not going to use that grommet. And what we're going to do is I'm going to route this wiring harness just in front of the cross member here on the ROPS, and just using some zip ties to secure it. And then once I get this all secured, I'm going to install the last grommet that goes into the ROPS tube that we ran earlier down the front of the tube here. So I'll go ahead and make the zip tie connections, and then we'll come back and show you that grommet. So lastly, I'm going to install the rubber grommet. So I got the harness routed on the front side here, the ROPS. Got that nice and snug, a few zip ties. So all the grommet's going to go in the hole here in the ROPS. So we're just going to push that grommet towards the hole, and then just using a screwdriver, just slowly work that grommet into the hole for it seats properly. That's just going to prevent that wiring harness from rubbing on the ROPS. So the last step here on the wiring side is we need to make our electrical connection to our pulse connection bar. So we're just going to choose one of the locations here. So I'm just going to use the one next to the other one that's being occupied. So I'm going to just kind of loosen that connector up a little bit and just kind of pull it out. And then we'll go ahead and connect our pulse connection up. So right here, this will give us power to our light bar as soon as you actually turn the ignition key on. So before we put the body plastics back on, we're going to turn the key on and just verify that the light is actually operating. And then we'll go, if it's operating properly, then we'll just go ahead and reinstall all the body plastics. So I got the key in the ignition. I'm just going to go ahead and turn the ignition to the on position. And that's going to power up everything on that pulse bar up here, so that's all key switch power. I'm going to go ahead and turn the switch on for the light bar. And the light bar is operating properly. So my next step here is I'm just going to go ahead and continue on installing the body plastics now that the light's working properly. And then just verify that my wire harness routing is good, it's not pinched in any areas or close to any rotating objects. And then add any zip ties necessary along the way. So just an added note here, when you're installing the panel, you want to make sure you get this tab in the body first before putting the panel into place. So we'll get it lined up, give it a little push, and then kind of pitch it in. And then we want to make sure that our inner plastic fits nicely with our outer plastic, just like that. And then we'll get a few fasteners started here. And then I'll go and install the rest of the fasteners and tighten everything up, and then we'll go to reinstalling the rear fender. So just an added note on the rear fender, you just want to make sure you get the two locking tabs into the body plastic first before fitting the fender on. We got our quarter turn up here. I want to make sure all that lines up. Everything's lined up in the rear. Go ahead and lock our quarter turn in. And then our two bungee cords, one on the bottom and one in the rear. So we'll install the front visor here, just an added note, make sure that these locking tabs go underneath the plastic here. That way the front side of this visor is locked down. So you kind of slide it into place, and you can see that it is locked in place. So we'll go ahead and install our two T40 fasteners into the visor. Just want to make sure you don't over torque these, because you can potentially crack the visor. So we'll just bring those down slow, and that's all you need. Once that's installed, we can reinstall our right-hand A-pillar, which is that piece of plastic. So want to make sure you get the stand-ups, standoffs in the rubber grommets, and then the clips here, they need to clip in to the body itself.